92 Yankee at the basic level, you're responsible for small things, ordering supplies, managing supplies, stockage, maintaining arms rooms, maintaining weapons. But at the higher echelons, the higher levels, most of your job is planning to try to predict the future of what your unit needs to go out and win America's war. So it takes a lot of intelligence, but it also takes a lot of foresight. The best thing a commander once told me, or a sergeant major, and the commander told me was get on the ground with the guys. Get on the ground with your soldiers, the ones you support, to see what they actually need. So I did that one deployment. It was the best experience I've ever had. I really love being an instructor. Like I said, the soldiers, they amuse you. So when you're having a bad day, they're going to do something to motivate you to keep going. I always have soldiers with interesting stories, interesting backstories that kind of keep you going. It's amazing where they came from. The best story I had was a soldier who was a specialist. She was 5'2". She was born in Mexico. She migrated to the States when she was 17. Didn't speak English when she came to the States. Learned English well enough to attend St. John's University. And again, 5'2". She was a 4-year walk-on player of St. John's Women's University basketball team. She joined the Army after finishing college, and the most interesting part was she was dyslexic. So when she spoke Spanish, all her adjectives were backwards. So sometimes she would tell me things and it would be like she was still trying to speak Spanish to me. But just amazing, just amazing story, where soldiers come from.
Okay. So let me give you
I chose the SIMOS because you can take your career anywhere. So it's open in the civilian world and in the military. You can go several different directions. And in the civilian world, I am National Guard, so I can use it in many different positions once I get out of the military or while I'm in the National Guard. Sergeant Jenkins is a wonderful instructor and a great mentor just as a sergeant in general. He helps everybody with the different situations, whether it has to do with school or career questions, or if they have questions about where they're getting stationed. I always see him giving great information. I really want to become a sergeant and even maybe one day go to officer school, but the way he talks about instructing and how he wasn't sure about it at first, but really has a passion for it now, and he loves seeing the soldiers succeed and move further in their careers. I think it's awesome.
Now GCSS Army system showing, tracking everything that we ordered.
Well, IMOS is Automated Logistics Specialist, which in layman terms is supplying the Army forces. Well, when I first, of course, as any young soldier, I really didn't understand fully what an Automated Logistical Specialist is. That was a new term to me. But as I read the synopsis, just supplying the forces, and at the time, working with computers was something new when I came in the Army in '96, so I kind of wanted to learn how to work on computers as well. Being an instructor, I think that is the reward of being an instructor. It's seeing that you can impact that when you send soldiers, or 30 soldiers as instructor that you have in your classroom, to be able to send those soldiers out to the force, knowing that you giving them all that you had and the excitement they feel when they leave, just like when they graduate. And you just feel confidence that, okay, these soldiers, when they leave this classroom, I know I did my best to send the Army the best product I could possibly do. You're giving back to the force. More than just your daily grind out working, when you had opportunities just to teach young minds and send our the Army for maybe, you impact an Army for the next 10 to 20 years. So when you leave the Army, you know that, hey, I left my imprint on the Army for the next 10, 20 years. And that's what I would say motivate soldiers, motivate NCOs to come be instructors.